Ball caps have become a big controversy. The Department of Justice now investigating Major League Baseball for potential religious discrimination. The league recently warned several San Francisco Giants players against expressing their Christian faith after they wrote Bible verses on their Pride Night caps. In a letter to Commissioner Rob Manfred, the department's Civil Rights Division writes, quote, "The Trump administration is committed to combating religious discrimination. I have referred this matter to the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission for further investigation." Some athletes ripping the league.
This is what we're worried about right here. Major League Baseball players wearing a hat with a Bible verse on it. That's what we worry about in a $1 billion industry. Major League Baseball, you can suck it.
I feel like it would be similar to saying everybody should have to wear a cross on their jersey, but I would never expect that with my teammates that don't believe the same thing. At the end of the day, I think I would literally just feel like, why is this in sport?
Outkick's Clay Travis with this. MLB has a real mess here. It's not 2020 anymore. Back then, you'll remember, the league went all in on the Black Lives Matter movement amid the George Floyd riots. The following year, Manfred yanked the All-Star game out of Atlanta over pressure from the far left. It was based on the false narrative that Georgia's new voting laws amounted to Jim Crow 2.0. And in 2023, the Dodgers invited a drag group that mocks Catholic nuns to their Pride Night. Gianno Caldwell, Fox News political analyst, with us now. The MLB has never been shy about shooting itself in the foot, Gianno.
100%. And I think these moments make us realize even more and more that Christianity has been under attack in our country by corporate interests like the MLB and many others. And I got to point to something else, because this happened around Pride Night. That was the whole point. Yeah. We did see another pitcher just last year, Bryce Miller from the Mariners. He put on his cap, Isaiah 6:8, "Here I am, send me." Fans appreciated it. He got a lot of praise for it. But again, it wasn't Pride Night. So this is where the distinction comes. So do you hate Christians that much, MLB, that you say that you got to speak out against this particular instance when we've seen other instances where things are okay? We can talk about BLM or anything else. But that's one of the questions that I think they need to be asked, point blank, period.
Right. So Josh Hawley, senator, says that he wants to ask some questions here. He posted a letter that he sent to the MLB commissioner asking for an explanation for the Bible verse warning. He captioned the post, quote, "What does MLB think it's doing, penalizing players for their Christian faith? They owe us some answers right now." You know, our 15-year-old daughter has got a Bible verse in the bottom of her lacrosse cleats, Philippians 4:13. "I can do all things through him who strengthens me."
Amen.
You know, a lot of people, you know,
Amen.
they rely on their faith to be able to perform out in the field.
No, 100%. And then you keep in mind that faith has come back. We saw that largely after Trump won again. We saw people going to church. We see one of our colleagues, Kate, who does Pizza to the Pews every Sunday, which I encourage people to check out Kate on that effort. But Christianity is something that a lot of young people are finding a hope in. They want to move forward in life. They want to bring their families in, just like I did. I grew up Christian, going to churches sometimes 7 days a week, if you will. So we need to be able to say exactly what we feel and what we believe, because that is our right as Americans. That doesn't mean that we're going to shame somebody else for their beliefs. You can believe whatever you want to believe, and a lot of people believe a lot of different things that aren't true these days, but you have that right to believe. So don't try to stump on my right to believe that Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, because he is.
Yeah. I want to switch gears here because critics are outraged over comments made by former First Lady Michelle Obama. She spoke at yesterday's opening of the Obama Presidential Center in Chicago. Listen to what she said about undocumented immigrants.
The immigrants proving what it truly means to be a dreamer. These folks aren't Americans too. They are America. They are the beating heart of this country. They are us, and we are them.
Those comments came just hours after DHS confirmed that an illegal immigrant, a dreamer, is the accused ringleader in the alleged terror plot to attack the White House Freedom 250 event on Sunday. He was granted deportation relief in 2014 under the Obama-era DACA program after failing to leave the country when his visa expired. Your thoughts, Gianno?
Well, I disagree with the First Lady, the former First Lady. I think the heartbeat of America are our veterans, our men and women in uniform, police officers, firefighters, those who keep us safe and ensure that we have the rights to go out and do whatever we're going to do and feel protected in the process. And that's what I think virtue signaling comes in here with the Obamas. You have numerous contractors, black contractors that helped build the Obama Center, and they're not getting paid. You're talking about millions of dollars. We're talking about people who went through bankruptcy. You got thousands of people that have been shot and killed in Chicago. You can go back to when President Obama was elected, and even before then. They never mentioned it. They never talked about it. So you can, keep the good, thoughtful, as you would consider it, liberal language, and talk about the truth. And the truth is the Obamas did fail this country, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, and then there was this. Critics also mocking the Obama Presidential Center event for opening with a land acknowledgement. Listen to this.
We'd also like to take a moment to recognize the original inhabitants of the land upon which we are gathered today. We honor the Anishinaabe, the Council of Three Fires, the Ojibwe, the Odawa, and the Potawatomi nations.
All right, so a lot of people had a response to that. One user wrote, quote, land acknowledgements are funny because the real message is, I want to say I care, but I don't really care, or I wouldn't have built this on land which I just said is yours. Another quip, so you just went ahead and built on that land anyways, huh? Valerie Jarrett with a real Billie Eilish moment there.
Again, John, virtue signaling. If it's their land, give it back to them. But once you have that conversation, or if they were to sue, they would say, no, it's our land, it's our land, it's our land. You can't make this stuff up, John.
Last I checked, Billie Eilish didn't give back her mansion either. Gianno Caldwell, always great to catch up with you,
and have no expectations to. Thank you, my friend.
Thanks. Have a great weekend. See you soon.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.